Hello, I'm Skeleton. I've hit Radiant countless times on multiple agents, and I've also peaked rank 1 on Europe. I am an experienced coach and player, and I'm basically just here to help you learn everything you need to know about Valorant. Okay, so we are going to be looking at Chamber on Lotus. Now, honestly, this is my favourite map to play Chamber on. I love playing Chamber on this map, and it's probably my best map out of all the maps, so I'm pretty excited to do this video. Now, yes, Killjoy is better than Chamber on this map, like she is, but there's a lot you can do on Chamber, and especially in ranked, like I just think he's super strong, and you know, if you can play him, he's very strong. But yeah, I don't know, I just insta-log Chamber on this map every single time. I love it. So when looking at Lotus, you primarily gonna be, let's say you're usually gonna be solo sentinel, especially in ranked when you're picking Chamber. You're gonna always want to be making sure your trip is on B. Super important, you know, just to stop the lurk. And you know, if your trip's here, you can basically play anywhere on the map and you're gonna be fine. So just put your trip on B like every single round. When looking at defense, I'll say this now, I like to put my trip here, as close to the barrier as possible and in the open. And the reason why is just it kind of stops like anyone lurking out, like the trip will go off. You know, so people can't walk up. You know, if you put your trip here, people can kind of like walk in a little bit before the trip goes off. So putting your trip here just kind of gets your info a lot quicker, and usually forces people to break the trip. You know, I think if they slide like this, they might be able to get past it, but they can't go forward. You know, so this trip is like the trip to do, in my opinion. Anyway, that's the trip I always do. Now, C is where you're going to be leaning, and this is probably why a lot of people pick Killjoy over Chamber, right? Is because of C on defense. But there is ways around it to make sure you're going to be useful, especially with the new C changes. There's a lot of good amount of stuff you can do. Basically every single round you play in Chamber, you want to be contesting C at least a little bit, even if you just shoot one bullet. And the way you want to do this is, or the way I usually do it is, you know, say they have a sky flash, a breach flash, something like this, is, you know, you have time to run from here to behind this box every single time, right? So I just run like this, not like that, but you know what I mean, I run like this with my back turned, and I get behind this box, wait for the flashes, and then I peek out, okay, and I fight. Obviously if you want, you can kind of play behind mound, but by the time the flashes have gone off, usually like a jet's updrafted up here and you're just in the open. So you want to be trying to get behind this box like most rounds that you fight in C, especially if you're on your own. And it gives you something to play off then, you know, you can kind of play like this, kill one, TP out, right? And you instantly want to be getting back into sight and reapplying pressure. I see so many people that are playing Chamber and they'll try to play from here on site, and it doesn't work. Like, you don't have the util, you have literally nothing. You can't start off playing site. You have to contest mount. You have to try and get a pick or try and take some space. You know, so you want to be making sure you are fighting towards here. And look, you TP and you're back in sight. You're in sight so fast. And if you have an op, you know, you can take this fight. It's a decent fight. You don't want to be standing here too long, but you know, if you're crossing in, you know, you can kind of hold like that, you know, and then you can play up here. You know, then you can say your teammate smokes main for you. You know, you can get up on this box, or you can play. You know, you can shift up close and play here. You know, if you're playing pillar, like usually you get breach stunned and you just get absolutely smashed with util. So this position is a bit cursed, but you know, you can still play it. But yeah, you want to make sure you're contesting C, and yeah, the way you want to do it is you either run out behind the box like this, or you can try peek main on timing, or you can, you know, if the jet's always updrafting, you can just stand like this and hold. Or yeah, as I said, you know, you can try peek on timing. But in general, playing behind there is like the most, at least from like the millions of times that I've peeked C, it's the most consistent thing you can do. You can also, now with the new changes, you can put a TP here, and I do this a lot where, you know, if I have an op, especially, you know, start of the round, I'll just run with my knife out, and you can get to about here before the enemy's on your screen. If you're getting smashed with flashes, it's not the best, but you can kind of run out. You can even try to shoot when you're full blind, and if you've done it a few times, you know the timing, and you usually even kill one if you're blind. If you do know the timing, you know, you can try a turn, but yeah, you can kill one. And if you don't see anyone, you know, you can just follow this up, right? You don't see anyone here, you're like, right, clear this, you know, just be a little bit careful. clear this, you can push through. And now you've got a nice flank. Like, don't be scared to be super aggressive, because you can be, especially in C. Like, you can, if your team are like the heavy fight in A, the worst case scenario is there's a guy lurking B, and that's a 1v1. So play aggressive on C as usual. It's my #1 tip on chamber. Play super aggressive. And yeah, don't be scared. Like, this TP is a get out of jail free card every single time. Like, peek this, TP, you're out, and you can play anywhere on site. That's completely up to you. And if you know that they're rushing C, kill one, and then say maybe you're 1 HP, maybe like Neon's already ran into site, then you just play off site and you play the retake. It's okay, like, you're not gonna get a pick every single time, but the fact that you're applying the pressure and the fact that you're here is like so valuable. Because if no one is coming C, then C's clear. You can just post up here, you can play more aggressive, you can take the space. But this space is like a big chunk of the map that you are now controlling, all from one little TP. Let's say you're playing here, okay, and they're hitting B. You already have loads of teammates that are going to be flooding from these links, so you don't really want to be joining them. What I like to do a lot of the time is I'll actually open this door, and I'll actually hold like this, because if there is a C lurker, which there is a lot, way more than you realize, this guy is going to think, oh, the chamber's fighting door, and he's going to peek you, right? They're waiting for this door to open. That's the whole reason why this guy's lurking on C most of the time. And that's a free kill. They're not going to expect you to just, like, if you open the door and you come like this, not only are you safe from door, you're you've got a free 1v1 on a guy that's not expecting you to be holding him. And then let's say there's no one here, this is clear. You can open the door again, it's super annoying, and you can just, play like this, clear mound, and yeah, fight the door. If you have a teammate with you, then you can get him to hold that while you fight door, or vice versa. You can open the door, they fight this, and you hold. Because yeah, you want to be applying pressure. If there's 4 people in B site and there's one guy B main, and you kill this guy B main, these guys on B site are getting pinched from potentially A link, heaven, from every side, and it's a horrible position for them to be in. So applying pressure, even if you just like open this door and you fight a little bit and you TP, it's just pressure, it's going to slow this B main guy down. It's one less person inside. Maybe your teammate smokes B main and now he's stuck behind the smoke. You've taken a player off the map, essentially. And you are going to be primarily playing towards C, so you want to make sure that you've got little plays and you're pretty well drilled on exactly what you want to do on C. If you want to play B, a really good TP is this one. A lot of people don't expect you to like just be crouching like in the open. Play like this, and often what I'll do is I'll get my Omen to play here, right? And this is good. It's a super strong bait. Say you play like this, your Omen's playing here, you're holding maybe this Skydog, right? Break the Skydog, and you TP. Insta run back to him, and you've hard baited for this guy. Maybe he kills one, and because he's playing Omen, he can TP out, right? And you're already back in link to help him. It's a nice little bait play that you can do. It don't really matter what the agent is, but if it's like an Omen or a Reyna or someone that can kind of get out or support themselves, then that's better. But yeah, it's a nice little bait play, and even if you're on your own, this is a super strong off angle. Hold your main, wait for the lurker, just to mix it up. And then again, it's pretty like an obvious one, but if you want to peek deep, you can do. The only problem with this is like it's a very disadvantageous fight, but if you're feeling confident, or if it's just like a solo killjoy lurking and he's kind of bad, you can fight him. In terms of A, like one of my favorite things to do is you just put your TP here. You can even put it here. It doesn't really matter, but it's better if it's closer to the corner, so you're covering this space, and then you want to be, obviously make sure your trips on D as well. That works. Go towards A, and start of the round. You just you turn the breach flash, and then you can just either hold the cross like this, or you just hold here. There's always a guy that swings here, right? Kill this guy, and just stay alive and be really annoying. Or, if your teammates are fighting as well, maybe you've got a Raze that's satcheled here, a Jet that's updrafted up here, and you can just fight. But this initial TP is just good because, let's say they don't go A, you have like a really fast rotation. You can be at C very quickly, just be careful with the B lurker. Another good TP is, obviously you can play up here if you want. This position is good, but, if they're spamming a lot of flashes, then it's not. But start of the round, you can turn the initial flash and then you can hold the cross. Or you know, with that TP, you can peek deep, take the space, and yeah, go for the entries again. Just be aggressive. Don't be scared. Don't be playing backside A or like up here or something. Obviously, you know, if you're retaking or maybe they've lost the space on A, you can do a little TP like this, or you can do a TP, you know, like this, and you can peek stairs. If you're retaking, but in general, you know, you don't want to be starting around here. You're just going to get smoked off and you're going to be useless. You know, you want to make sure you're putting pressure on this space, even if you're completely alone. You know, like there's always a pick to find. There's always an opportunity to get a kill. Usually, as long as you're not eating util and you're aware of like what util the enemies have. Another thing you can do is, you know, you can get your teammate to open this door. You can do it yourself, but it's a bit easier if your teammate does it. You know, and you can kind of just hold. You can even just sit like this, right, and wait for the door like that, and you have a timing to peek into main. You can stand back here. It doesn't really matter. It's just I have to open the door. And you know, if you're not confident on your crosshair placement, you can just ping it, right? You just wait for the door to turn around, and then you got an easy kill. And usually when this door opens, like anyone on A is going to start looking towards the door. So that's your opportunity to kill someone. And the same can be said on attack, right? You can get your teammate to open the door, and you just sit and hold, and then you can kill the guy tree if he's peeking it. And yeah, that's really it on attack. Like, you just want to be putting pressure, keeping your trip on B as much as you can. Maybe if you're solo in A, you can put your trip here. You know, if you've got like two guys fighting B, same on C. You know, you can put your trip on that box. But in general, you want your trip to be towards B. In terms of attack, again, you know, you want to be making sure you're lurking, you want to be making sure you're putting pressure on the map, and you're trying to find entries. That is your job as chamber. The best trip you want to be doing is this one. It covers A and it covers B, and it's got a good range, right? You can push up C with it, you can push up A, you can push up B. This is like probably the better trip. I see a lot of people putting the trips like here and stuff, but you know, if your trip's here, like the guy can just break the trip and insta fight. You know, you want the trip to be as deep as possible. You know, there is like the odd chance it gets smoked and stuff like that, but usually you're okay. And even if it does get smoked, like where you're going to be playing is you're going to be playing around here usually, like in this area, and you can hear it. Like you can usually hear an omen smoke. If I'm playing around here and my teammates have taken this space, even if I've got this trip, I will always make sure I'm checking the flank. This is an easy fight. I mean, that's all you need to hold really. Like, this is a super easy fight. You know, make sure that he's not like walked up here. But yeah, you know, check the flank. The flank's clear, and you can go back to, you know, supporting your team, holding stairs, doing stuff like that. Okay, so start of the round. What I usually do, you know, I'm waiting at the barrier drops, and I just peek like this, right? This is the easiest fight ever. If you have a vandal, you just pre-fire it. Right, the fight is your fight. Like, no one's reacting to you running out and pre-firing. All what I'll do is, you know, I'll just swing out and just clear these angles. And the second, you know, I might just shoot a bullet and TP. Obviously, the enemies are going to be spamming loads of util usually. By the time a Omen flashes hit you, by the time a breach stun has hit you, you're here, right? By the time this util has hit you. And the enemies, if they're hard fighting A, are usually here. Right, so you always, every single time, if they're fighting A, you have a 1v1. Without fail, like, you will find a 1v1 if they're pushing and taking main. So you want to be utilizing this every single time, you know, taking this fight while they're running forward. You know, they're not going to be accurate. Yeah, I don't know, you get here so fast. So be fighting A main a lot, and then, you know, let's say you take the A main space, you've got the A main space, pick your TP up, wait for the recharge, and you can just put your TP up here, play an off angle, sit up here, be annoying. If maybe you were like, you know, you lurked B at the start of the round, you know, you were holding the B space, maybe you even like kill the guy on B, you know, and you come back and join your teammates on A. Always try to put your TP up here. Like, it's such a strong position because it's just annoying to deal with. It's, you know, the stairs player, no one will, if you're peeking stairs, the last place you want someone to be is like up here, because you're clearing all this stuff and then there's a guy up there. It's just a good off angle. And honestly, like, just make sure you're just fighting this fight right here. These first few seconds in terms of Lotus A, this is the most important few seconds of whether you're going to win the A space or not. So the second the barrier drops, you can just run out like that, fight someone, TP out, okay? If you kill him, great. If not, maybe you've got like a raised satching out, an Omen as well, you got a breach flash going off. Then you've got a you're like the decoy almost, you know. Like you're literally almost a decoy. Like you got all these people flying out, and then maybe the attention's on them, and you're just kind of swinging out like a decoy, and you've got your TP to insta get out, which is good, obviously. In terms of lurking B, nice TP is this one. If you're walking up B and the guy wants to play aggressive, or they are playing pretty aggressive on B, this TP is good. If not, you can kind of put a TP like, I don't know. The reason I don't like putting my TP here is because they can hear it and they know you're coming then. So I'll usually just not TP, you know, and just take the space CS:GO style. On C, like this TP is like strong and pre-fire is good on C. This is head height. This is literally perfectly head height. So you can just put your crosshair like this and just peek out. It's perfectly head height. You know, so you can just literally run out, pre-fire that, maybe they'll TP, but you know you can take the the C space. And in terms of post plant, you know, you just play it like you would any sentinel. If you want to get aggressive, you can. You know, especially on C, maybe you hold your TP. You can put a TP like this. You can fight waterfall. Maybe no one's contesting waterfall. You can push into it and take the space. How you want to be playing chamber is very passive aggressive. Start of the round passive. Start of the round super aggressive. You know, or it's super passive. It's one or the other. You know, you're either playing passive and you're holding the flank, or you're playing super aggressive and you're pushing for a pick. And then into the mid-late round, you know, you kind of slow it down a lot more. Especially if the way that I play the game is, you know, I'm much stronger late round, playing clutches. You know, I'm not as strong if I'm running into a site and there's like cypher trips and flashes going off and grenades and all sorts of stuff. You know, I'm kind of better if I'm like the third man in, you know, and I'm getting the trades and I'm doing all that stuff and clutching. So that's how I approach it and that's how I play it, and I mean it works for me. So yeah, that's really it for chamber on Lotus. You know, make sure you're pushing for the picks, use the op a lot on defense, I'd say, and you know, on attack, lurk, fight A main a lot. Yeah, I'd say that's it, you know, and just have fun, bop around, kill everyone, headshot.